stand back here.
I think you should be good. Please tell me autofocus is on. Yeah, okay.
I can push this couch back a little bit.
So, came to campus, it's a Saturday, we're chilling, but I got a very special guest on the channel. We got Med with Will, who's a budding creator at MCG.
Starting creator.
And you have more Instagram followers than I do. But it's been really cool, especially with the beginning of the year, to interact with a lot of other people that are on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, etc. And which you are just starting out as you're an M4.
Yep, an M4.
But I know in my 10K Q&A video, I told you guys I wasn't going to make a video about kind of like how to get started on a YouTube channel, especially if you're a pre-med or med student. But you asked, so I guess we'll deliver a little Q&A of tips on how to get started, especially for you guys who are interested in doing a YouTube channel or building up your socials. So with that being said, Med with Will, ask away. Time out. Before you guys even think about starting a social media page or building a social media presence as a pre-med or medical student, there are some essential skills that you need to know before ever putting up a post. That's why I am so excited to partner with SKILLSHARE, who is the sponsor of this video. One of the most intimidating parts about starting a new channel or building a social media presence is learning how to use one of these and what to do with the footage or files afterwards. This is why I partnered with SKILLSHARE to offer you the opportunity to learn and make sure that knowledge is not a barrier of entry. If you guys don't know, SKILLSHARE is an online learning community built by creatives for the lifelong learners like you who are watching this video. Now, something that I really didn't have when I was starting my channels was a place to learn how to work a camera, learn how to edit. All of those I kind of had to pick up along the way, which I took the hard way to do that. With SKILLSHARE, all that hard trial and error is taken out of the equation, and the resources are given to you in the form of curated personal classes. Whether it be video editing, basics of using a DSLR or mirrorless camera, learning how to use lighting, composition, even photo editing if you want to work on Instagram, all those are covered and so much more all in one place. And the best part about it is dedicated to your learning, meaning there are no ads at all, and classes are being updated all the time so that if you want to expand beyond photography, videography, say like me, I want to look at some finance stuff, you can find a class that suits your interests at the moment. I would highly recommend this class by one of my favorite YouTubers and filmmakers, Dan Mays, titled Filmmaking for All, Tell Your Story Through Video. It's been a huge help for me learning how to navigate the filmmaking process and will help you to tell better stories in the long run. To help you, the future YouTuber, Instagrammer, TikToker, med school creative, get going. Using the link down below, the first 1,000 of my subscribers will get not just 1 week, not just 2 weeks, but a whole month free to start out. Choose from tons of different classes. I would highly recommend learning how to use a camera and how to edit, but let your imagination run wild. This offer lasts through September, so don't be late. Click that link down below and get yourselves a free trial of SKILLSHARE today. Hope those classes help, and they'll get you a better head start than I even had when I was beginning my social media journey. Good luck to all you future creators out there, and let's get back to the video.
Yeah, I think this is a video I wish that I could have seen, you know, just getting started, so I'm sure it's going to be helpful to someone else out there. I guess the first thing, you know, probably people want to know is just like, how did you get started with this whole journey?
Okay, so first off, like, it's definitely a tip I would recommend to any pre-med coming in. It's finding a niche and finding an area that not a lot of content is out there about. So when I first started the channel, one of my first videos I uploaded was a whole review of the BSMD program I was in, because I saw on the internet, it was whenever you search up BSMD programs or accelerated med programs, it was all just how to get in, how to stat pad yourself, but never a like real student's perspective of what is it actually like being in there in terms of balance, social life, because those are things that are very, very important.
Right.
And during my time through the program, I was always on advisement committees for incoming or prospective students. So I was like, let me put together a video saying what I normally say on those panels and put it out there. And that was like my first video that hit like 1,000 views or so. And like, that was when I kind of was going, okay, maybe this YouTube thing, there's value in it, because people are saying things in the comments like, yo, this is so helpful, I'm looking to apply next year. And like, it all starts with that intention of, can you give value to other people that isn't out there yet? So it starts with finding that niche and finding that need.
And you were telling me that some M1s were coming up to you saying that they watched your videos and that you know, you gave them some value. I think that's awesome, man.
I guess it's definitely humbling and heartwarming to see some M1s say like, yo, I wasn't gonna apply here until I saw your videos.
That's so awesome.
It's a small world, and I think it comes to show the power of the internet.
Yeah, dude, I think that's really awesome. Yeah, I feel like even with me, with my small Instagram following and stuff too, you know, sometimes you get some messages just from some people, and usually it's like the same people, just like a few people who, you know, react to you, they reply to your stories and stuff, and they just like, you know, thank you for what you're doing. And honestly, like for me, even though I'm a really small content creator right now, that gives that gives me like a lot of motivation. It really makes me like keep on wanting to do what I'm doing. Because like sometimes like you're doing it, you feel like no one's listening, like no one's like caring what you have to say, but it just takes like one or two like good comments or good messages just like really kind of give you that motivation to keep on going.
Yes, and to definitely add on to that, like, one, there's no such thing as a small creator. Have confidence in your work. Nobody's gonna take your work seriously unless you do. Right, and then also, especially in the realm of pre-med and med creators, like, as long as you are helping one person out there, you're doing something good. And I think that's definitely something that helped keep me going in the early stages. So the fact that you're getting those is fantastic.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. I mean, they honestly, they really do help a lot. So yeah, send your favorite, you know, creators messages of support. They definitely appreciate it. Yeah, I guess like next thing I guess I would like to ask you is, I guess like, what is like the hardest part about being a content creator and being a med student? Because like being a med student is already like full-time job, like, you know, like, that's a huge thing on its own, and like being a content creator on top of that is like, you know, it's a lot. So
I think in all honesty, it's just keeping your head up and making sure that you are positive all the time. Only recently have I enjoyed making vlogs because a lot of it, and I commend the people out there that started their channels doing weekly vlogs, because when I was starting out, I was like, dude, nobody wants to see me sit here and slap the space bar for like 4-6 hours a day.
Yeah, Unky, man.
You know, like,
all the time.
I don't want to watch that. And so it was, it's more like picking out pieces that get people excited, picking out the things that get me excited to be in med school, and making sure that you display those. And then on top of that, being very careful, and this is something that I'm sure you've come across, everybody that like wants to film anything in med school has to keep this in mind, where, you know, you have to portray yourself as a professional because you are going to be a future physician, and that is something that you don't take very lightly. Which means like you can have fun, you can show off the silly, like, genuine side of yourself, which is like, that's one of the main things I would recommend if you want to build a social media presence. But at the same time, like, do be careful. I've had multiple conversations with program directors here that say they love seeing people that have social media platforms, but they also click through the links, they look at your numbers, they want to see that, you know, you're doing it for the right reasons. So let that be both a warning and an encouragement to you, because let it be an encouragement knowing that the time that you spend building your social media platforms is not in vain, especially if you're doing something good with it.
Right.
If COVID taught us anything, it's that media and online presence is huge.
Yeah, super important for sure.
And so if you can show them that you're doing it well, you're presenting yourself both as a professional but also as just a person,
right?
They're gonna love that.
Yeah, I was actually having a conversation with someone else about this, like about social media and like applying to residencies and stuff. Especially since like I'm a 4th year student and I'm actually like in the process of applying to the residencies and stuff. I'm like, should I just like maybe like kind of go in the down low with YouTube and like Instagram, kind of like put this down, or should I just like go full on out, you know, show my best side, and hopefully the residencies, because they will probably find me, have my name all over my Instagram, all over my YouTube, so they're probably gonna find me. They might even see this video, so if you're watching, hi residency directors. I was just trying to decide, it's like, how much is enough to put out there. You don't want to put yourself out there too much and come across as like not professional, not taking this seriously, but then also you want to like have your followers see like the personal side of you too. So I feel like there's definitely like a balance, like the balancing act when it comes to like to that, I guess, like as a creator.
And like literally just that, and then the professional side, making sure you're kind of like, I wouldn't even say cautious, I would say intentional about what you're putting out there. I think that's one of the biggest challenges of doing this in med school, because you're not, just you're not an influencer. You don't have just a regular day job. You are training to become a physician.
Right.
Those rules will kind of change and evolve as you go in your training process, but bottom line is you have to take what you're putting out there seriously.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for me, that's been something I've been trying to work on too. Making sure that you're still showing your best side, because like I like to do fitness and stuff, but I don't want to just like only put out fitness stuff. Like I've hesitated to put out any like shirtless pictures or anything. Like there's a lot of like fitness influencers who like flex and stuff for the camera and stuff. Like I'm kind of like refusing to do that, just because like I don't want a residency program or anything to see that.
Isn't there an EM resident here that like
is
super famous on
there is. I don't know if I should drop his name or not. I don't want to get in trouble because I'm still doing my ER residency.
Okay, all right. That's like.
But we do have someone in the EM, I guess, program, like a program director, who may or may not have been on The Bachelor.
Yeah,
The
Bachelor.
Bachelorette.
Yeah.
And also maybe or maybe not was on Men's magazine cover. So and Ninja Warrior. So I mean, there's a lot of
The guy's fit. That's all I'm gonna say.
Super cool dude though. I've just been a little bit hesitant about going that way. Just because, like I said, residencies and stuff, and you want to give off a professional appearance, but you also don't want to like be too professional.
Be robotic.
Yeah, be robotic, exactly. So that's just like a balance I feel like that I need to figure out more, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any other thing that's like really hard for you about being a content creator? Things that maybe you didn't like expect when you first started out as being a content creator in med school?
I think just how to manage the business side of things. That's something that I'm only just coming across. Obviously with the channel getting a little bit bigger, like you always want your channel to expand, but I don't think anything ever prepares you for when that number hits and like starting to work with brands and everything. That's something I've advised a lot of people who are starting out, is just there's a whole business marketing side to this thing that a lot of people don't really consider when first starting out. And it's like, if you're going public, making sure that your content is brand friendly, but then when brands start reaching out, like how do you value your work? Because you are a med student, time is very valuable to you. And so if you are putting out good work, it's making sure that you're compensated appropriately for that. Right. And if you are a pre-med or med student, I don't think any of you guys have probably taken a negotiation or like,
I definitely have not.
self-marketing entrepreneur class. So it's like those are things that you have to learn on your own. And that's something I'm still juggling with. having some professional freelance experience before medical school helped, but it's like that's on a client-to-client basis. It's not like you working with a very large company. And there's a huge learning curve to that.
Yeah.
Definitely. So that is something I never expected to have to.
It's like a whole new skill set that you just didn't even know kind of like was there. Like you never really looked into it all before.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people starting out like want that goal but never expect to get there. So it's like be prepared to actually get there. Yeah. And just know that you have to value your work, and that goes with brands and especially residency programs where it's like they are only going to take your work as seriously as you do.
Right.
And that's why I highly emphasize there is no such thing as a small creator.
Okay.
And as long as you're confident in your work and you're proud of what you're putting out, speak highly of it.
Yeah.
Don't sit there and go, oh no, I've only, this is only iPhone footage. It's like, no, this is work that I put in, and like you have to present it as such.
Right. Yeah, I want to be like Andy one day. I'm still filming mine on my iPhone, but he's got this like nice camera over there.
Oh gosh.
This is some goals right here. So
this is part of the learning curve too. I will say if you are wanting to start a YouTube channel, Instagram, TikTok, or wherever, it is a little bit easier to start on TikTok with just your phone.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
Guys like See the Med Life, Dr. Adam Goodcoff, who I work with, Jake Goodman, shout out him. I've even advised Jake. He was texting me going like, yo, what cameras should I buy and everything? Because he blew up on TikTok, which you can easily do on your phone.
Right.
But YouTube is a platform that quality actually matters. So it is definitely a learning curve. Those of you guys that do have some photography, videography experience, that's going to help you if you're starting out, because it helps with workflow. And I would credit a lot of, my ability to keep up with this in med school to the fact that I've had experience with it before. Learning in med school is tough. I will say that.
There's a lot to learn, and that just adds one more thing that you have to learn.
Exactly. I'm not saying it's impossible, but be prepared to have to put in a little bit extra work. But to those of you that do have experience with a camera, manual settings, even on a very elementary level, you already have a head start, and I would definitely recommend that you would familiarize yourself with your editing program of choice. DaVinci's free. If you're a Mac user, Final Cut's fantastic. If not Final Cut, iMovie, like that's free. If you're on the PC side, Premiere Pro is fantastic. There's a lot of other programs out there, but making sure that you have a good workflow set is so important when things get crazy in med school. Because I can probably turn a video around in probably like 2 hours.
Dang, dude. That's pretty impressive.
But that takes practice. That takes experience, and that's a big part of learning how to do this.
It's really like a skill. Like I'll just speak from my own experience. So I've been filming like some vlogs and stuff like during my clerkships. I haven't been able to upload them yet, but they're still kind of like in the editing queue right now. But that's definitely something like I noticed was like it's really important to like have like a system in place, because like when I first started, I was just like I'll just film and like I'll just figure this out later, and then like you have a bunch of footage that like kind of stocks up, and then like you kind of forget like how you wanted to like do it and stuff. So yeah, definitely like when you're a med student, your time is limited. If you're on rotations, it's like you have very little time to actually, put that together if you don't know what you're doing. And if it's like that, you'd be kind of like me, where it's like you film the stuff, but now it's like you have to edit it, but you still have to study and all that, and then it just gets really kind of like confusing. So I feel like if you kind of know ahead of time like how you're gonna do this, like you could probably like streamline this process a lot faster than I have.
Yeah. So I think that's a word to the pre-meds out there. If you are wanting to create if you want to carry on that from pre-med to medical school when you get accepted, definitely use that time in college to learn that skill, because it's going to be so helpful once you get here.
I can totally agree, man. I feel like I've gotten just a little bit better at it, and it really feels good when you kind of start to like see the improvements in your speed and like being able to like upload and stuff. Like I was telling you before, like it'd take me like so many takes to like just film like something that's like a minute long. I'm like, oh no, this is bad, this is bad. But it's just like I feel like the more like you do it, the more comfortable that you get.
Exactly.
So, okay, another question I have for you is, what do you have to say to the people like me who are just getting started? You know, you see your numbers kind of going up a little bit slow, and you're not getting the momentum that I guess you have right now. Like, what's your word of advice or motivation to people like that?
I would say, one, if your intentions are right, stick with it. Like I said, if you are helping one person out there, it's worth doing. Two, find community, which is like, again, the fact that you reached out is fantastic, because it's so hard to do it alone. I mean, again, shout out Josh. He started med school up in Philly, but like he was one of my first contacts, and I found out he was also in a BSMD program. Reached out via DM, and I mean, me and him text all the time. You know, we met up in New York, and you never know what will come. But like that's what I'm saying. We both had like less than 200 subscribers when we made that video together. And now Homeboy has like 55,000 subscribers. Wow. And I'm just like, I'm just trying, my goal is to one day catch him. But like,
that's awesome.
It's so hard to do it when you don't have other people around that like understand, because you are kind of weird.
Yeah,
like,
I feel weird.
You're a little weird making this stuff because it's a skill set and a industry that not many people are familiar with. Having people that understand and encourage you to do it is so vital in keeping your head up.
I mean, I'll just add on to that. Like, this is like, I guess we technically met in the hallway, like, you know, the other day, randomly. But this is like pretty much like the first time I really get to interact with you. And I'm gonna say it's like been really motivating already. Like I haven't really interacted with people who are also like trying to do the same thing that I am. Like I started this probably like a couple months ago, seriously, like with the YouTube thing. And I just kind of felt really strange and weird about doing it because I was off my like, you know, Southwest campus and stuff, and I was filming vlogs in the hospital, and I just felt like a total like, you know, loony. I was just like walking around like, you know,
and I think you will. But like it's knowing, because I think people started, at least in my class, just understanding that, oh, he's just the guy with the camera.
Yeah, you're the famous celebrity now.
No. That was like before. That was before like I even had the numbers to support me.
Oh.
It was just like, it was something that I enjoyed doing and I liked, and so, and you know, I had the skill to do it. People saw my pictures and videos. They're like, oh, okay, this is really cool. Yeah. So then people acted a little bit less weird around me, and that goes back to taking your work seriously.
Right.
If you're confident holding up the camera, then other people will be like, oh, okay, he knows what he's doing.
Right.
And that's not a product of having the fanciest gear in your hand. It's a product of you displaying yourself as a professional.
Right. And that kind of just takes time too.
Yeah. And yeah, those first few times holding the camera up to your side, it's gonna be weird.
don't go back and watch my first few videos, please. Like, I feel like I've got like my progression has been slow, but it's been a steady progression. So I can't say like a little bit of improvement. But my first few videos, it was rough. Well, I'll just say that.
That's normal. I mean, I cringe at my own first few videos, but like as part of the process. And just know it will get better with time, and that especially if you have community around you that encourage you.
Like this guy right here.
Gosh, thank you. You know, I try to help encourage, you know, people, and then also some M1s that are working on their TikTok profiles and everything, because like I knew what it was like starting out. I was the only one who really did it at MCG. Yeah.
I actually remember seeing your channel before I started my channel too, and I was like, oh, he's MCG. Like, this guy's like so much further ahead than me. Like, I'm like in my third year, you're a first year, and I'm just like, wow, this guy's like miles, you know, beyond me. But honestly, like, that helped motivate me too to get started too, because I'm like, you're MCG. Like, we come to the same school. Like, you know, you can do it. I can do it too, kind of. Yeah. So that was very motivational actually for me.
And like that's why I try to help out people starting out, and like hopefully I'll get to see some of you guys starting out your channels and everything, and you know, who knows, one day I'll get to meet you as a fellow creator, and you know, hopefully you will pass my subs and everything, and I can look up to you. So, do you have any more questions for me?
I guess like the main one people probably would be wondering is specifically like time management tips, or anything like you've learned since like you've kind of done this for a while. Anything you learned you wish that you could have done earlier to just like save yourself time and just kind of, you know, make the videos come out quicker.
Have a plan. film intentionally. And I think those are the main two. There are gonna be ups and downs for times like.
If you have like a big exam coming up, is there anything?
So I started out like my first couple weeks of every block, I'm grinding. Like I'm filming multiple 72 question interviews.
Okay.
I'm filming a ton of just a ton of content. So basically, I would front load everything. So that once exam time comes, I still have stuff in the reserves to post, and I can focus.
Okay, that's a really good tip. Yeah.
And I think that's how I run things. Some people are really good at keeping up their weekly vlogs. I'm fairly new to the weekly vlog, but it's been fun. So that was my general rule of thumb to balance everything. And obviously school comes first. If things are getting hectic, put the camera down, please. That's not your priority. You are a student first, and then like a content creator second.
Yeah, definitely. I think with me, I just had step 2 come up, and basically I kind of went off the grid. You know, for a while. It's like even on Instagram, I'm like I haven't like posted a story for like days now. Like I'll just put like one so people know I'm alive. But yeah, definitely got to prioritize like school before content creation, because I mean we're going to school to become doctors. Like that's kind of important. So
yes,
gotta make sure that, you know, we get this done well, and then like, you know, content creation's like kind of something like on the side.
Exactly. And just keep your priorities straight. That's my best word of advice for people doing it. This is cool and everything, but your first priority is being a physician and training to be a physician. So yeah.
I feel like that's about it. Did a good job answering all my questions.
Thanks. Yeah, so guys, all the timestamps to like the questions and the answers will be in the description. You can skip around. I've been doing a lot of these where it's kind of like Q&A. So feel free to treat them like a podcast. If anything, listen to them in the background. And best of luck to Will. Go follow him. All his stuff will be linked in the description. And good luck to all the pre-meds and med students out there looking to build out their socials. If you would like more specific questions answered, I can totally answer those at a different time. But this is a good start.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next one.